You were starting the
Okay.
multi-stage transistor amplifier.
So let us continue our discussion. Have you been informed about when your classes? I mean, till when? What time the classes will take place, and when are your exams? CRs. CRs.
So 8th August is the sessional result day.
Sessional and theory.
Yes, sir.
Theory. Theory.
So,
Theory.
so theory only. All the teachers are saying it will end in 8th August.
8th August. Okay. And your exams?
So exams will be there from the second week.
Second week.
The exact date has not been informed, but it will start in the second week and it will end in the third week, around 21st or some date.
Okay. And your next semester will start after that.
Yes, sir. 3 days after that.
Okay. Just just hold a minute. I will just see after this week. What do we have till 8th August? Just a minute. So this week we'll have class. We are having class today on 26th. On 28th we will have class, and then next week 2nd and 4th. Okay, but I think you have to accommodate one more day. Just a minute. 8/28 is Wednesday. 28, 29, 30, 31. Yeah. Second and fourth. Second and fourth are two classes. After that, I will need one more class to complete everything properly. I am telling you in advance, huh? Shagorika. Priyanka nahi.
Yes, yes, sir.
Priyanka nahi.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा
She is there.
আচ্ছা আর ঠিক আছে আর তাহলে সেকেন্ড ফোর্থ আর এখন থেকে আমাকে ডিসাইড মানে ওয়েডনেসডে ইউ টেল মি ওয়ান মোর ক্লাস when you will want to have next week হুম আমার ক্লাসে একটা সুবিধা হচ্ছে since we have been taking the assignments you are more or less ready for the exam. You don't have to prepare much. You have to just go through the solutions to the assignments and just brush up the information. Okay. So আমার মনে হয় if you go through the assignments properly, then mm, how much? About 80% will be covered. Hmm. So that way um, you are well prepared for the semester exam. I will take one more assignment, which I will give on Wednesday. Hmm. And the digital logic part, there will be no assignments because there is no time. But I can send you the list of questions. I mean, it is not an it is an assignment, but it will not be taken or marked. Okay, but it will help you to prepare for the exams. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So you said that you'll start the Carnot map in the means in the later part of the classes.
Yeah, Carno Map later classes is in the almost at the end of the digital part.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. That
so
you will take
so
in the extra class part.
yeah, yeah. So next week when
Okay.
we have three classes, I plan to cover as much as possible today, so that if possible we can start on Wednesday the digital part. So the Wednesday class and thereafter three classes will be able to cover everything, whole syllabus. Hmm.
Okay, sir.
So we were discussing multi-stage amplifiers. So all of you now know about what the devices are. What are the electronic devices we have studied till now? Fast, huh? Because we don't want to waste time on question answers. Fast. What are the device, electronic devices we have studied?
The diode, transistor, rectifier, cleaver.
No. Absolutely. Rectifier is not a device. Diode is a device. We can make a rectifier using a diode. But you're correct. Diode is a device. BJT transistor, NPN or PNP is a device. JFET is a device.
MOSFET.
MOSFET is a N channel or P channel, whether enhancement mode or depletion mode are all devices. Okay, devices means building blocks. Building blocks we are able to we are able to make circuits. Okay, circuits are those which are useful for our applications. Like for example, in the beginning of our study on transistors, we said that depending on the application, we can have two types of we can use the transistors in two types of applications. One is in amplification, another is in switching. You remember?
Yes, sir.
Amplification and switching. So amplification in the common emitter amplifier is the most commonly used amplifier, and NPN is the most commonly used type of amplifier. Device. So NPN, common emitter, BJT is the most commonly used device. So we will study using that as the base. Okay. So common emitter, NPN transistor. So that is a device. So using that device, we can make make an amplifier or a switch. And we have studied that in an amplifier, we use the active mode of operation. Okay, and in a switch, we either use saturation for on and cutoff for off. Okay, so switch means you can, like a switch for our say a fan or a light switch you have in our home. There can be two states, either on or off. So now in a transistor, on means saturation and off means off means
Cut off.
cut off. Okay, very good. So so these are the two applications, amplification and switching. Okay, we'll study mainly the amplification part. Switching you will need only in, for example, when we study inverters, you can invert from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. So that we will study in digital part, but as of now we'll study the amplification part. So this, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So this is what,
Transistor.
this is a BJT transistor, NPN
So
or
common
PNP?
emitter. NPN. NPN.
NPN or PNP?
NPN.
Yeah,
NPN.
NPN. The NPN, common emitter transistor. Okay. So it is an NPN transistor, but it is used in a common emitter configuration. We can use this NPN transistor in common base or common collector, but in this circuit we are using it as a common emitter configuration. And you know all this. So this VCC is a voltage which is applied and through a resistance RC collector. This is the collector terminal, this is the base terminal, and this is the emitter terminal. So through this collector resistance, the power supply is coming, and the resistance at the emitter is RE, and this is grounded. Okay, and this is the base. This is the biasing for the base. What type of biasing is this? We have discussed 5 types of biasing. So what is this biasing type?
Sir, voltage divider.
Yes, voltage or potential divider bias. Okay, so this is the best bias circuiting, best of all the biasing circuits we have discussed, because the stability is how the collector current which flows through this changes with respect to the with the ICO, that means the reverse saturation current. Okay, the reverse saturation current or the leakage current which flows, the minority carrier current, that how much the IC value changes, that is the parameter for the stability. And it also, that ICO, remember IC is equal to beta times IB plus beta plus 1 times ICO, the reverse saturation current. So ICO depends on temperature because it is the flow of minority carrier currents. So IC is equal to beta IB plus beta plus 1 times ICO, is dependent on temperature. So we have all discussed this, thermal runaway and all these things. So the stability of a potential divider bias circuit is the best. Okay, and it is almost equal to 1 For fixed bias circuit, we have seen that it is about beta plus 1. So beta varies from 50 to 400. So the stability is not good. Stability, if it is near 1, it is good. So that we have in this biasing. And what is the need for biasing? To give a proper operating point for the transistor to operate. For operating point means DC operating point. Okay, or the quiescent point. You have seen that the quiescent point lies near the middle of the load line, so that any variation because of the signal makes it lie within the active region. If it is lying close to the saturation, if the quiescent point or the Q point on the load line is lying near the saturation, then sometimes if you apply a signal, it may go into saturation mode. Or if the Q point is near the cutoff line, then it will go to the cutoff mode. So it will be clipped. So you will not have output which you take at the collector will not be a faithful reproduction or amplified version of the input signal. Okay, amplified, we need an amplifier. So whatever we give at the input, the signal, for example, the microphone picking up the sound, that must be amplified and be available at the collector point. Okay, so these are all concepts which we had discussed already. Just a recapitulation. Now there are 3 capacitors, one at the input side, one at the output side, and one across. That means across the emitter resistance. Okay, so these input and output capacitors are called coupling capacitors. Okay, because they are coupling the previous stage. This is one amplifier stage, and this is the next this is one amplified stage, because you're having one transistor with different biasing and resistance circuits. So this is the input side capacitor. So it isolates the DC, because capacitor blocks the DC. Capacitor only allows the AC signal. So it will allow only the AC signal. So the biasing which is there, this plus VCC voltage and across the resistances, this is the DC part. So this DC part will not be affected by the previous stage. Or this coupling capacitor to the output is such that the next stage is isolated from this stage. Okay, so these are the function of these two, input and output, or you can say input side capacitor or output side capacitors. These are called coupling capacitors. There is another capacitor called the emitter bypass capacitor. Okay, so it bypasses the emitter in the sense it allows the AC to pass through but blocks the DC. So in case of DC, this emitter resistance, in case of DC, this is open circuit. So if DC, this is open circuit, means it is blocking the DC. So this, as if the capacitor is not there. So for biasing, DC means biasing. For biasing, this resistance comes into the picture. While for AC signal, we don't see the output is taken across the collector and the ground. So what is the output value? VCC minus ICRC? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So output value is VCC minus ICRC. It can also be said that the value is VCE plus IERE. So if VCE plus IERE, so in case of AC signal, if this RE is in the circuit, then the output will be reduced. Okay, so for that we need to bypass this emitter resistance. Okay, the emitter resistance is so in AC this is short circuit. So there is AC short circuit means there is no drop across this AC short circuit means this resistor is bypassed through this short circuit. So this point and this point are at the same potential by this ground contact. So there is no drop across this. So if there is no drop across this, then the output voltage will be more. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I will just repeat. This is the VCC and this is ground. Okay, and it is divided into 3 potential drops. One is ICRC, one is VCE, another is IERE, if the IERE is present. Okay, if IERE is present, then This is VCC minus ICRC. So this is ICRC drop, this is VCE drop, and this is IERE drop. Okay. Clear? So you need to have the signal passing through the signal to pass through this capacitor, then it will be short circuit, there will be no drop across this, and the output will be more. Okay. Clear? So this is one part of the circuit. Now, as I said, in common emitter configuration, it can act as a voltage amplifier. That means it gives an input voltage signal, and the output signal is an amplified version and out of phase also, because you have output and negative of the input, negative amplified version of the input. So when this signal, suppose this is a sine wave, at the t is equal to 0, the sine wave is going up and then going down. In the output, it will first go down and then go up. So it is 180 degree out of phase. So output signal will be something like this. It will go down and then go up. Clear? So it is amplified version. That means some multiple of the input, and also it is out of phase. Okay, clear? So this is the one stage. Now, if you collect more than one stage, you get a multi-stage amplifier. So here you have a first stage, and this is the coupling device, and this is the second stage. So output is V naught, and input is Vi. So the gain, total gain, is V naught by Vi. So that is the multiplication of the gain of this first stage and the gain of the second stage. Okay. So you see AV, the gain, V stands for voltage. For gain we write A. So why not G, I don't actually know. It is AV is equal to the gain of the first stage multiplied by the gain of the second stage. Okay, clear? Now there are four different types of coupling. This coupling device which you have can be of four types. One is resistance capacitance coupling, which we will study. Impedance coupling we will not study because this is not part of the syllabus, but moreover, not only is not part of the syllabus, it is not very useful. It is not a very popular method. Okay, so impedance coupling, forget about it. So we will study there are three types: resistance capacitance coupling, transformer coupling, and direct coupling. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So first of all is the two stage. Like we have two stage, we can have more than two stages. Okay. So you see this portion of the circuit is what we studied at the beginning of today's class. This is one amplifier, and this amplifier is output of this amplifier is passed to the input of the second amplifier. This is another amplifier. That's why it is called two-stage RC coupled amplifier. Okay. So it is called RC coupled because you have a capacitor coupling and the resistances. So if you see, actually this is first stage what we studied with the capacitors, and this is the second stage what we studied with the three capacitors. Okay, so first this is the input capacitor, this is the output capacitor of the first stage, and this is the resistance emitter resistance bypass capacitor. Similarly, in the second stage you have this output of the first stage capacitor acts as the input of the second stage capacitor. Okay, clear? And this is the output of the second stage amplifier part. And again, this is a emitter bypass resistance. So here, if you know the one part of the circuit, you can draw the second part. That is coupling only. This output of the first stage is the input to is fed to the input of the second stage through this capacitor. Okay. So whenever you see capacitor, first thing which comes to your mind is that it passes the AC signal, but it blocks the DC. So this is the coupling, and it is called RC coupling because there are some resistance also in this circuit. Okay. So whenever, as I said, when you encounter a capacitance, the first thing you see is that its impedance is equal to 1 by omega C. Omega is 2 pi f. So if f is 0 for DC, then what is the impedance for DC?
Infinity.
Infinity, because 1 by 0 in almost infinity. So for DC it is an open circuit. Only it will pass the AC signal to out. This is signal, means AC. Here also there is an input capacitor. This input capacitor will allow only the AC. So this coupling capacitor between the first stage and the second stage allows only the AC signal. That means, but then it blocks the DC signal. DC signal blocking means the biasing of the first stage does not affect the biasing of the second stage. Otherwise, there will be problem in the biasing. If the output of this stage is fed to the input, and this is also connected to the input. This is the biasing, base biasing. So if the output of the first stage affects the input of the second stage, then this biasing will be disturbed. Okay. So that is why this function of the capacitor. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Whereas,
Yes,
one more thing, you see, this is the first stage. So if the signal is there, sine wave, at this output, what you will get? First stage output. Two things are important. One is the magnitude, another is the phase. One is the magnitude, another phase. What will be the magnitude of this?
but the magnitude will be some constant into the input voltage, and
Yeah, very good.
the output voltage will be out of phase.
Out of phase. Okay. How much out of phase?
180 degree.
180 degree.
Okay. Suppose this signal is say 2 volts, peak to peak, sinusoidal. So here it factor of K. Suppose K times 2 volts, 2K, and output out of phase. So same amplifier as the first stage is the second stage. So at the input of the input of the second stage, what is the input of the second stage? 2K times inverted that means out of phase. So if both are identical amplifiers, what will be the output here?
4K in phase.
Hmm?
But it will be in phase. The phase difference will be
Yeah.
with
We
respect
have
to
to
the
consider two things. One is the magnitude, another is the phase. So here phase inversion takes place once. Again, from this input, the phase inversion takes place twice. So if there is 2 times phase inversion, output will be the same phase as the input signal of the first stage. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
Okay. And what about the magnitude? I said the this AC signal peak to peak voltage is 2, and the constant K multiplication amplifying factor. This is an amplifier now. This is amplifier, RC coupled amplifier. This word is important because we are now not we are using the devices which we have studied to build amplifiers. So this is an amplifier circuit. Now this is the input signal is 2 volts peak to peak, and the amplification factor is say K. So output is 2 times K in magnitude. What will be the output at this?
2K square.
Very
2K
good.
square.
Very good. Excellent. Only thing it will be in phase. So if the K is say 5, each stage multiplying factor is 5. So it will 5 into 5, 25 into 2. So give an input signal of 2 volts, output will be amplified and same phase 50 volts. Clear how it amplifies?
Yes, sir.
Actually there will be some loading. Okay, so the output will not be 50 volts, that it will be little less. Okay, just for your information, theoretically it is 50 volts, but because of the loading of the output and the input stages, only the last stage, if you have instead of 2 stages, if you have say 4 or 6 or 8 or 10 whatever, only the last stage this amplification factor will remain as K. With the earlier stages, amplification will get reduced a little. Okay, so it will not be exactly 50 volts, maybe say 40 volts, 45 volts, something like that. Okay, so for operation of an RC coupled amplifier, you please go through the very simple language. I will send you the link. Okay, only thing with in this link is that it is quite good and very simple, but only thing there is some mistakes. For example, I will tell you in this amplifier what is the frequency response. Suppose this signal has some sinusoidal signal has some frequency, say 5 hertz, or maybe 50 hertz, maybe 500 hertz, maybe 5,000 hertz, maybe 50,000 hertz, any signal. Okay, so 50,000 hertz is 50 kilohertz, not much. What is the signal in your laptop? What is the clock frequency in your laptop? When you buy a laptop, you also see the RAM. What is the RAM size, ROM size, and what is the speed of operation? Can you tell me anything? Any idea? All of you are having laptops. What is the speed of operation of each laptop? Of what? Huh?
গিগাহার্জে মাপা হয়।
ঠিক, কে বলছো? কে বললে? কে বললে তার নামটা?
স্যার আমারটাতে যেমন 2.9 গিগাহার্টজ এর প্রসেসর স্পিড,
হ্যাঁ,
আর কিন্তু ম্যাক্সিমাম যেতে পারবে 4.2 গিগাহার্টজ।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক, ভেরি গুড। কে বললে এটা? তোমার নামটা?
বিশ্বদীপ।
ও বিশ্বদীপ, চেনা যাচ্ছে। তো বলছি কি, তো ভেরি গুড, সবাই একটু দেখে নিও তোমাদের ল্যাপটপের স্পিড কত আছে। যেটা বিশ্বদীপ বললো যে এটা 2.9 gigahertz, it can go up to 4.2 gigahertz. So gigahertz means 2 to the power 10 to the power of 9। মানে বুঝতে পারছো কত হাই স্পিড? অত হাই স্পিড না, ওটা ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি বলে। তো অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমাদের অডিও ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি কত? এই যে আমি কথা বলছি, কত ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি রেঞ্জ, কিংবা তোমরা গান শুনছো, কত ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি সিগন্যালের?
Sir, 20 to 20,000 hertz.
20 hertz to 20,000 hertz। ওকে, তো এই যে ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি, ডিফারেন্ট ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি, এই যে আউটপুটটা বললাম 50, ইট ইজ নট কনস্ট্যান্ট থ্রু আউট দ্য ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি রেঞ্জ। ওকে, so basically from say in this particular RC coupled amplifiers, from 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz the response is flat. After that it tapers off. That means below 50 hertz you will not get, this is the voltage gain in decibel, but okay, in our example we have taken 50, so this 50 will remain flat only in this frequency range, 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Below that frequency, below 50 hertz and above 20 kilohertz, it will taper off, fall off. So if you want to hear a signal of 40, some tabla is suppose at lower frequencies, tabla, if the frequency is 40 hertz, 30 hertz, it will be reduced. The gain of the tabla input will be reduced. You will not get the same output as in this middle frequency range. Okay, so this is a flat response. Why I am not very comfortable with this link is that some things are written in mistake, are written wrong. Suppose this is what is mentioned as bandwidth, that means flat portion to flat portion is not correct. I will just show you what is correct. Give me a little time. Actually the frequency response is like this. This is important, that's why I am showing you. So this is a lower frequency corner, it is mentioned f is a frequency, L for low, and this is fh, high frequency corner. So say in our example it was 50 hertz and this was 20 kilohertz. Okay, so below 50 hertz, and in fact it is not 50 hertz. So see, this is the flat portion of the curve. This point to this point is a flat portion of the curve. After that it tapers off. Now bandwidth, what was mentioned in that diagram was totally wrong. See, this is the gain. What I was saying, 50, 2k square, 50 is the gain. So after the mid frequency range flat response, the frequency falls off like this. It falls off like this. Okay, so It is not, as I said, tabla or very high frequency. Tabla is say 25 hertz, 30 hertz, 40 hertz. You will not get the exact reproduction of tabla if you use the RC two-stage RC coupled amplifier. So basically, it tapers off, and this is this gain is in decibel. Okay, decibel is log scale. Okay, output is decibel means log scale. So flat response is 0 dB decibel. So it falls off by 3 dB. So these 3 dB points, the frequencies corresponding to these 3 dB points means 3 dB lower than the flat response part, either in lower frequency range minus 3 dB and a higher frequency range minus 3 dB. So between this point, this is FH, and this point, this is FL. This frequency range from FL to FH is called the bandwidth. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? So bandwidth is not from the flat portion to the flat portion. It is a little below the flat portion. That is the 3 dB point. Here the voltage is 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2, that means 0.707 times the peak frequency, the peak gain. If the peak gain is 50, okay, in our example 50 into 0.707 is 35, say. So at say 35 is the gain, then is the lower frequency point. 35 is the gain, then is the higher frequency point. That portion of the curve is called the bandwidth. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So Vishwadeep, now you understand. I'll go back to where we were. I think I have missed it. Please hold on. Okay, so this is the frequency response of an RC coupled amplifier. Only thing, this bandwidth is wrong. Bandwidth is from somewhere at this point 3 dB minus 3 dB. That means a little below the curve is this. This is the lower frequency range. Here the dotted line should be, and here the dotted line should be somewhere at this point. Okay, so that high point and low point is the FL and FH. So that is 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So this RC coupled amplifier is very useful for audio frequency applications because it almost covers all of the audio frequency range. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are the advantages and disadvantages and applications? This you please study from I will just go through one of them. There are 3 types, so please go through them. What are the advantages of RC coupled amplifier? The frequency response of RC amplifier provides constant gain over a wide range of frequencies, hence most suitable for audio applications. Okay. The circuit is simple and has lower cost because it employs resistors and capacitors which are cheap. And it becomes more compact with upgrading technology. That means using IC, all these resistance, capacitance, transistors will come in one chip. Okay. What are the disadvantages? The voltage and power gain are low because of the effective load resistance. Load resistance is I told you, it is not exactly multiplied by the gain of each stage, not 50 or not 2k square. 2k square or 50 is a theoretical. Because of loading, it is a little less. So the voltage and power gain are a little low. They become noisy with age. Because of the aging, there is some problem with aging. Suppose you see that when you buy a mobile phone, it works very nicely. After some 1 or 2 years, it starts deteriorating in performance. Have you seen that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
One reason is because of software is not able to upgrades are not available optimum with the hardware, and secondly, aging of the components in the mobile phone. That these are the resistors, capacitors, ICs, so they become a little noisy with age. So apart from the music which you want to hear, you will also get some noise. As I said, due to poor impedance matching, power transfer will be low. Power transfer between input and output will be high when there is proper impedance matching. For example, if you have antenna, if your television in your home, you find that at the input of your television is mentioned 75 ohms. 75 ohms is the load of your television. Okay, and what the signal is coming from the your either you have antenna, or nowadays you have Tata Sky or other satellite antenna phones. Basically, whatever you have antenna, the signal which is coming from the antenna is not 75 ohms. So that's why there is a mismatch in the impedance between the television set and the antenna signal, antenna impedance. So there is a balanced to unbalanced transformer is used, balloon it is called. You see, when there is a cable going into your TV, there is a small cylindrical block. Have you seen? If you have not seen, please see that. Even your laptop, have you seen your laptop? The power which is coming, there is a small cylindrical round thing at the input of the power cord. That is the or the signal. Okay, so these signals are basically for impedance matching. So as I said, TV input signal is 75 ohms. If the antenna signal is not of 75 ohms, there will be poor impedance matching, and the power transfer from the antenna to the TV will not be optimum. Okay. So these are some disadvantages. Applications, they have excellent audio fidelity over a wide range of frequency and widely used as voltage amplifiers. Again, there is a negative thing which is not used. Due to poor impedance matching, RC coupling is rarely used in the final stages. Okay, so this is all about RC coupled amplifiers. Next is the transformer coupled amplifier. Same two-stage excuse me. Here again, you are seeing two amplifier stages because there are two transistors. This is the first stage transistor, second stage transistor. Here between the first stage output and the second stage input, you are seeing there are no capacitors. Only there is an emitter bypass capacitor, but no input or output coupling capacitors. Instead, there is a coupling transformer at the collector. This collector is the output of the first amplifier stage. So that is the input of the second amplifier stage. So this is the primary side and this is the secondary side. Whatever signal is coming at the primary side is you are getting an output similar. This is a transformer transforms from primary side to secondary side, depends on the turns ratio, and you get only the AC to AC. So no DC part is transferred from the primary to the secondary. So the AC, whatever AC you are giving at the input primary side, corresponding AC you will get at the secondary side. So this output of the first stage is coupled to the input of the second stage by a transformer. Okay. Similarly, at the output you have the first stage to the second stage, and this is the output transformer. The output transformer from the secondary of the output transformer, you get the output. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Is it? So basically, cannot. This is total frequency distortion, so it is not very useful for many applications. What are advantages? Excellent impedance matching is provided. Excellent impedance matching because there is no loading, no DC part is not coming from the input to the output stage. Okay, so there is excellent matching of impedance. That is the advantage. Gain achieved is higher. There will be no power loss in collector and base resistors. There are no resistors at the collector and the base. Sorry, not at the base is there, but the collector there are no resistance. So there is excellent. No power loss and efficient in operation. These are the advantages. There are certain disadvantages. Though the gain is high, it varies considerably with frequency. That means the frequency response is very poor. This frequency response is very poor. So it is very. So frequency distortion is higher. Transformers tend to produce hum noise. Transformers are bulky and costly. But some applications they are mostly used for impedance matching purposes, used for power amplification, used in applications where maximum power transfer is needed. Okay, these advantages, wherever there are advantages, they are trying to take advantage in certain applications. third and last one is direct coupled amplifiers. Direct coupled amplifiers, you see there are no capacitors or transformers between one stage to the other stage. Here, instead of two, actually this is a two-stage amplifier. Okay, so instead of this, instead of two transistors, you are having three transistors: T1, T2, T3. Output of the first stage is fed to the input of the second stage, and this you can say, mm, and this is the third transistor. This only thing to note is that this is a NPN, this is an NPN, but this is a PNP transistor. So out of three transistors, two are NPN, one is the PNP. This is used to balance the different characteristics of NPN and PNP. Okay, so the variations of one transistor tend to cancel the variations in the other. Okay, that is the reason. Operation, how it operates, advantages, the circuit arrangement is simple because of minimum use of resistors. So see, there is no biasing sort of thing. This is a little strange sort of circuit, but it is direct coupled because there are no capacitors or transformers for coupling from one to the next stage. Is it clear? So these are certain advantages. Applications are low frequency applications and low current applications. It cannot be used for amplifying high frequencies, and the operating point is shifted due to temperature variations. Where to the advantages, the circuit arrangement is simple because of minimum use of resistors. The circuit is low cost because of the absence of expensive coupling devices. But doesn't matter if it is not useful, even if it is low cost, it doesn't make any difference. It is not of much use. So this is used in certain applications, low frequency applications, not high frequency or audio applications, and in some low current applications. Okay, so these are the different techniques for multi-stage amplifiers. Okay, with this now we'll move on to a next topic. This topic is over. I will send you the link so you can go through this. Now this is a very, very, very important topic. There's the feedback amplifiers. What are the feedback amplifiers? So basically till now we have been studying amplifiers only with certain gain. Okay, certain gain, that is an what is amplifier, you now know. Suppose with common emitter NPN transistor, you can build an amplifier. Okay, single stage set. Multi-stage, forget now. You consider only a single stage amplifier with a gain of A. What is new here is that there is a feedback circuit. Feedback circuit means some portion of the output signal is taken, sampled at here and fed back to the input signal. Are you getting me? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. Sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is an amplifier, single stage amplifier with a gain of A. What you have learned till now, that is a common emitter NPN, or it can be other types, but for now we'll take common emitter NPN transistor with associated biasing arrangements, with associated coupling, decoupling, and emitter bypass capacitors. That is one stage only. So gain is A, say, since A sub V is not written, so this gain can be current gain or power gain or voltage gain, whatever. Only thing to try to understand the concept. Starting from here, I am an amplifier. I am getting an output, but I am not taking the output just like that. I am feeding back. This is, if you take the direction, then this direction is from top to bottom. So from top to bottom, this is the direction. So some portion of the output is taken and fed back to the input. Clear? Now this is a certain circuit is used for feeding back. Okay, so this beta, don't confuse it with transistor gain. Transistor gain is also beta, is it not? In common emitter amplifier, I said IC is equal to beta times IB. Yes or no? That is the common emitter voltage amplification factor is beta, but this beta is different. This is called the feedback factor. So this feedback factor means how much portion of the output you feed back to the input. So this is O, output. O stands for output. This is VF. This is the feedback voltage. Feedback voltage is some fraction, beta is fraction, it is called the feedback factor, some fraction of V naught, say 1/3, 2/3, 1/2, whatever. So beta is some fraction, it is always less than 1. Some portion of the output is fed back, taken from the output and fed back to the input. And what you get here, Vi is this is the source voltage. So this Vi is Vs plus Vf for positive feedback. That means some portion of the output is fed positively to the input voltage. So you have Vi is equal to Vs plus Vf. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Or you can have negative feedback. In that case, Vi is equal to Vs minus Vf. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you have, depending on whether you are feeding it, depending on the circuit configuration, this is a feedback circuit. So depending on the circuit configuration, if you feed it back positively, if you have out Vi as Vs plus Vf. If you feed it negatively, we'll discuss all this, feed negative and positive feedback. If you feed it back negatively, you have Vi is equal to Vs minus Vf. So this circuit is very simple, clear?
Yes, sir.
So we know the gain of the amplifier is A. We also know the feedback factor is beta, which is not to be confused with the current gain of a common emitter amplifier. This is separate. This is a feedback factor. So what we will have, something at the output VO and something at the input. So what is the relationship? That means the overall gain of this whole circuit. This is the amplifier gain A. This is the feedback factor beta. But if you take the full total circuit of consisting of the whole amplifier and the feedback circuit, you will have some output and some input voltage. So what is the ratio between V0 and Vs gives the overall gain, the loop gain? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So let us take, say, one of them. Vi is equal to, let us take negative feedback first. Vi is equal to Vs minus Vf for negative feedback, I told you. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Vi is equal to Vs minus Vf. What is Vf? Mentioned here.
Yes, sir.
Some fraction of the output is taken, that is the Vf. Vf is some fraction. So Vf is given by feedback factor into V0. So instead of Vf, I am replacing it by beta times V0. Can I do this? Can I do this? তাড়াতাড়ি বলো, এগোতে পারতে হবে না?
Yes, sir.
Simplest of simple জিনিস. Now output V0 is equal to A times Vi or Vi times A, যাই বলো না কেন। ক্লিয়ার? এটা ক্লিয়ার, ইজিলি বোঝা যাচ্ছে তো, এটা সহজে বোঝা যাচ্ছে। এটার গেন যদি A হয়, if this is the input Vi, output is V0, what is the relationship between these three parameters? V0 is equal to Vi times A or
Yes, sir.
A times Vi, say whatever, doesn't make any difference, it is A times Vi. So I will write that as like this: V0 is equal to A times Vi. Vi আমি তো এখানে পেয়ে গেছি, Vs minus beta V0. Yes or no? So I substitute, instead of Vi, I substitute this value for negative feedback. ঠিক আছে, এটা ক্লিয়ার হয়ে গেছে?
Yes, sir.
না একটু রিঅ্যারেঞ্জ করছি। রিঅ্যারেঞ্জ করলাম করে এই V0 বাই Vs, এখান থেকে দুটো ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল রিঅ্যারেঞ্জমেন্ট করলাম, করে এটা পেলাম V0 বাই Vs। এই রিলেশনটা এর মধ্যে V0 আছে, তো তাই জন্য একটু ট্রান্সপোজিশন করে এই V0 বাই Vs করে এটা পেলাম। This is a very, very important relationship. V0 by Vs is equal to A times 1 plus A beta. ঠিক আছে? This is for negative feedback. আর এটা যদি পজিটিভ ফিডব্যাক হতো তাহলে এটা 1 মাইনাস এ বিটা হতো, ঠিক আছে? নেগেটিভ হলে এটা প্লাস হবে আর পজিটিভ হলে এটা মাইনাস হবে, এটা মনে রাখতে সুবিধা, ঠিক আছে? তো এ ইজ দ্য অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার গেইন, মানে অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার ইটসেলফ, আর কোনো টোটাল এটা টোটাল এটাকে বলে ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার, পুরো জিনিসটাকে নিয়ে ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার বলে। আর এটা হচ্ছে একটা স্ট্যান্ড অ্যালোন সিম্পল অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার। এর গেইন হচ্ছে এ, আর এই এ বিটা হচ্ছে লুপ গেইন। A into beta is called the loop gain, ঠিক আছে? Clear? So there are two types of feedback I have discussed. The process of injecting a fraction of the output energy of some device back to the input is known as a feedback. Clear? It has been found that feedback is very useful in reducing noise. Some advantages are there. I will explain. Is known to it is found that feedback is very useful in reducing noise. Noise একটা খুব বাজে জিনিস ইলেকট্রনিক সার্কিটে, নয়েজটা রিডিউস দরকার। তো নয়েজ রিডাকশনে এটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট ফিডব্যাক, এন্ড মেকিং দ্য অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার অপারেশন স্টেবল মানে আমরা স্টেবিলিটি ফ্যাক্টর পড়েছি টেম্পারেচার ভেরিয়েশনস এর জন্য। এটা স্টেবল মানে তোমার হচ্ছে ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি রেসপন্স এন্ড আদার প্যারামিটারস স্টেবল হতে হবে, মানে এক এক সময় এক এক রকম বিহেভ করবে এটা হবে না, কনসিস্টেন্ট বিহেভিয়ার থাকতে হবে। So depending on whether the feedback signal aids or opposes the input signal, aids মানে add হয়ে যাবে আর opposes মানে minus হয়ে যাবে। There are two types of feedbacks used. One is positive, another is negative feedback. The feedback in which the feedback energy, either voltage or current, is in phase with the input signal and thus aids it is called a positive feedback. Aid করে মানে হচ্ছে এই যে ফিডব্যাকটা আসছে এটার সঙ্গে ফেজে আছে। ফেজ আউট অফ ফেজ তো পড়লাম না আমরা, ওই 180 ডিগ্রি আউট অফ ফেজ হলো, দুটো স্টেজ দিলে আবার 180 ডিগ্রি হয়ে আবার ইন ফেজ হয়ে গেল। তার মানে হচ্ছে সাইনোসয়েডাল সিগন্যাল যদি হয় একটা উপর দিকে ইনপুটটা উপরের দিকে যাচ্ছে তারপরে নিচে আসছে, আর আউটপুটটা যদি প্রথমে নিচে হয় পরে উপরে যায়, ওটা হচ্ছে 180 ডিগ্রি আউট অফ ফেজ। তার মানে যদি এখানে বলছি ফর পজিটিভ ফিডব্যাক দিস VS, the input voltage and the feedback voltage are in same phase. Then VI will be VS plus VF. If VS and VF are in opposite phase, then VI will be VS minus VF. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the feedback in which the feedback energy, either voltage or current, is in phase with the input signal and thus aids it is called a positive feedback. Both the input signal and the feedback signal introduce a phase shift of 180 degree, thus making a 360 resultant phase shift around the loop to be finally in phase with the input signal. So if I use a common emitter amplifier, so the phase difference between the input and the output is 180 degree. And if there is another phase difference of 180 degree, then the total phase difference becomes 180 degree, so it becomes in phase. 360 পরে তো আবার 0 হয়ে গেল না, in phase হয়ে গেল। So if this is 180 degree out of phase between the input and the output, and between the input and output of this is also 180 degree out of phase, মানে suppose this is some phase, this is 180 degree out of phase, 180 degree out of phase ফিড করলাম এখানে, এটা আবার 180 ডিগ্রি, এই ফিডব্যাক সার্কিটটা আবার 180 ডিগ্রি ইন্ট্রোডিউস করলো। তো 180 ডিগ্রি ইনপুট আউট অফ ফেজ ছিলই, তো 180 ডিগ্রি প্লাস 180 ডিগ্রি will make it 360 degree out of phase with respect to the input. 360 degree out of phase means in phase. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
মানে
Yes,
মাল্টি
sir.
স্টেজ অ্যাম্পলিফায়ারে বলেছিলাম না দুবার 180 ডিগ্রি হচ্ছে মানে 360 হচ্ছে। So that is the positive feedback. Both the input signal and the feedback signal introduce a phase shift of 180 degree. Feedback like feedback circuited respective signal and thus making a 360 resultant phase shift around the loop to be finally in phase with the input signal. That is the positive feedback. Positive feedback hole gain বাড়তে থাকছে, increases the gain of the amplifier. Disadvantages are increasing distortion and instability. So এটা mainly amplifier circuit use হয় না positive feedback. But there are certain category of circuits which are part of our syllabus called oscillators. So oscillators are circuits in which positive feedback is used to our advantage, but it is not used for amplifiers. For normal amplifiers, it is not used. Clear? Negative feedback to bollam. The feedback in which the feedback energy, that is the voltage or current, is out of phase with the input and thus opposes it, is called the negative feedback. Clear till now?
Yes, sir.
In negative feedback, the amplifier introduces a phase shift of 180 degree, যেটা বললাম amplifier মানে হচ্ছে common emitter amplifier, NPN or whatever. So in negative feedback, the amplifier introduces phase shift of 180 degree into the circuit, while the feedback network is so designed that it produces no phase shift or zero phase shift. Thus, the resultant feedback voltage is 180 degree out of phase with the input signal. এটা বলতে চাইছে এটা 180 degree out of phase তো আছেই common emitter এ। এমন একটা feedback circuit to be designed that introduces no phase shift. So it is this input has some sinusoidal say waveform. So this waveform is 180 degree out of phase. So if you feed it back to the feedback circuit, this introduces no phase shift. So this output of the feedback circuit is 180 degree out of phase with respect to Vs. Is it clear? Vs has some phase. V naught is 180 degree out of phase. So some fraction of V naught is taken and put in the feedback circuit. Now, if this does not introduce additional feedback phase shift, then a 180 degree out of phase টা রয়ে যাচ্ছে। তার মানে এটা 180 degree out of phase with respect to Vs, তাই না? তাহলে Vi হবে এইটা মাইনাস এইটা। ক্লিয়ার অর নট? দেখো বোঝার চেষ্টা করো, বুঝলে খুব সহজ, কিছুই নেই। আর প্লিজ হ্যাঁ কি না উত্তর দাও, না আমি বুঝতে পারি না।
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ক্লিয়ার? আবার বলছি, এটা সার্টেন ফেজে আছে, এটা কমন এমিটার অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার ইউজ করলে ভি নট উইল বি আউট অফ ফেজ উইথ ভিএস, 180 ডিগ্রি আউট অফ ফেজ। আচ্ছা, এবার যদি এটা 180 ডিগ্রি আউট অফ ফেজ আরো 180 ডিগ্রি আউট অফ ফেজ থাকে, তাহলে এই 180 ডিগ্রি আবার 180 ডিগ্রি 360 ডিগ্রি আউট অফ ফেজ হয়ে যাবে এই ভিএফ উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু ভিএস।
Yes, sir.
360 ডিগ্রি আউট অফ ফেজ হয়ে যাবে মানে আবার ফেজে চলে আসবে। তার মানে দ্যাট ইজ দ্য পজিটিভ ফিডব্যাক। আর for example, second stage is that this Vs has certain phase, V naught has 180 degree out of phase as in previous case, but feedback circuit does not introduce or it zero phase shift. তার মানে এই 180 degree out of phase এখানে এসে যাবে, তার মানে এইখানে এসে যাবে, মানে এইটা আর এইটা আউট অফ ফেজ থাকবে Vs আর Vf, তখন Vi হবে Vs মাইনাস Vf। ক্লিয়ার অর নট?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically, the feedback in which the feedback energy, that is either voltage or current, is out of phase with the input and thus opposes it, is called negative feedback. I'm repeating whatever I've read again. In negative feedback, the amplifier introduces a phase shift of 180 degree into the circuit, while the feedback network is so designed that it produces no phase shift or zero phase shift. Thus, the resultant feedback voltage is 180 degree out of phase with the input signal. এখানে নেগেটিভ ফিডব্যাক হলে কি হবে? গেইন ইজ রিডিউসড, গেইন কমে যাচ্ছে। অ্যাম্পলিফায়ারে আমি গেইন বেশি চাই, বাট গেইন এখানে রিডিউস হয়ে যাচ্ছে। স্টিল আই সে দ্যাট উই উইল ইউজ নেগেটিভ ফিডব্যাক ইন অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার সার্কিটস। ওয়াই? একটাই ডিসঅ্যাডভান্টেজ আছে যে গেইনটা কমে যাবে নেগেটিভ ফিডব্যাকে। ঠিক আছে, মনে রাখার জন্য সুবিধা হচ্ছে একটা অ্যাম্পলিফায়ারে ইনপুট আর আউটপুট ইম্পিডেন্স কোনটা হলে ভালো হয় বলেছিলাম কমন এমিটারে?
Sir, can you repeat?
I'm repeating. Please wait, I'm repeating. আজকে ক্লাসে এইটা দিয়ে এই সার্কিট দিয়ে শুরু করেছিলাম। আছে ক্লাসটা? This is an one amplifier, single stage amplifier, common emitter, NPN transistor with certain biasing, certain coupling capacitor, certain emitter bypass capacitor, certain resistance in the collector, resistance in the emitter. ঠিক আছে? এইখানে আমরা কি বলেছিলাম, ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স শুড বি মানে আউটপুট ইম্পিডেন্স হাই আর লোর ব্যাপারটা বল। কি আইডিয়াল বলেছিলাম, ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স শুড বি ভেরি হাই বলেছিলাম না, যাতে প্রিভিয়াস সার্কিটটা ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স যদি ভেরি হাই, এফইটি তে যেমন বলেছিলাম ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স ভেরি হাই, আউটপুট ইম্পিডেন্স ইজ ভেরি লো, ওইটাই আমরা আইডিয়াল। ইম্পিডেন্স ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স এফইটি তে ইনফিনিটি, কারণ গেটটা আইসোলেটেড আছে, এফইটি মসফেট, so that is an ideal. Input impedance be very high and output impedance should be very low. কারণ কি বলেছিলাম, ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স ভেরি হাই হলে প্রিভিয়াস সার্কিটটা লোড করবে না। একটা ভেরি হাই ইম্পিডেন্স রেজিস্ট্যান্স যদি আগের রেজিস্ট্যান্সের সঙ্গে প্যারালাল লাগানো হয় তাহলে কি হবে, আগের রেজিস্ট্যান্সটাই হবে মোরালেস ফ্রম ম্যাথমেটিক্স 1/R is equal to 1/R1 plus 1/R2 or R is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2। ওই একটা ফর্মুলা আছে না, দুটো রেজিস্ট্যান্স প্যারালাল হলে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
তো ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স যদি ভেরি হাই হয় আর আগের স্টেজ হোয়াট এভার বি দ্য রেজিস্ট্যান্স, দুটো প্যারালাল এসে যাচ্ছে না, আগের স্টেজের রেজিস্ট্যান্স আর এই ভেরি হাই ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স, তাহলে দুটো প্যারালালে আসলে কি হবে, কাছে কোনটার কাছাকাছি হবে? একটা 100 ওহমের রেজিস্ট্যান্স আছে, একটা 1 ওহমের রেজিস্ট্যান্স আছে, এফেক্টিভ রেজিস্ট্যান্স কত হবে? তাড়াতাড়ি বলো, ম্যাথমেটিক্স জিজ্ঞেস করছি আমি, এখন যদি ইলেকট্রনিক্স পড়াতে
100/101।
আরে 1 আর 100 এর মধ্যে
ছোটটার সঙ্গে সমান হবে, ছোট।
হ্যাঁ ভেরি গুড, ছোটটা এক একটা 1 আর একটা 1000 যদি হয় প্যারালাল যদি থাকে তাহলে 1 এর কাছাকাছি হবে, তাহলে ছোটটার কাছাকাছি হবে। তার মানে এইটার ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স যদি ভেরি হাই রাখি তাহলে আগের ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স যাই হোক না কেন সেইটাই থেকে যাবে মোরালেস।
Yes sir।
বুঝে গেছো সবাই? একটা ভেরি হাই রেজিস্ট্যান্স আর একটা হোয়াটএভার রেজিস্ট্যান্স যদি থাকে তাহলে ওই লোয়ার রেজিস্ট্যান্সের ভ্যালুর কাছাকাছি হবে। 1 and 100 তাহলে 1 এর কাছাকাছি হবে, 1 and 1000 তাহলে 1 এর আরো কাছাকাছি হবে, 1 and 10,000 তাহলে 1 এর আরো কাছাকাছি হবে। তাহলে যতই এই প্যারালাল রেজিস্ট্যান্সটা হাই করতে পারি তাহলে তত ভালো। সিমিলারলি আউটপুটের রেজিস্ট্যান্স যদি লো হয় তাহলে পরের স্টেজে যাই রেজিস্ট্যান্স থাক না কেন তাহলে এই লো রেজিস্ট্যান্সের কাছাকাছি হবে টোটালটা, সরি
Yes sir।
হাই রেজিস্ট্যান্সের পরের রেজিস্ট্যান্সের কাছাকাছি হবে। এটা লো রেজিস্ট্যান্স যদি থাকে তাহলে পরের রেজিস্ট্যান্সটা কাছাকাছি হবে, তাই না? ক্লিয়ার হলো?
Yes sir।
তার মানে একটা যে কোনো অ্যাম্পলিফায়ারে উই ডিজায়ার দ্যাট দ্য ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স এন্ড দ্য আউটপুট ইম্পিডেন্স শুড বি ভেরি লো। ঠিক আছে, এটা বলার এত কারণ হচ্ছে একটা তো বোঝার জন্য, আর দ্বিতীয় কথা কারণ হচ্ছে বলার কারণ হচ্ছে এই যে হোয়াট আর দ্য অ্যাডভান্টেজেস অফ নেগেটিভ ফিডব্যাক। 4-5টা অ্যাডভান্টেজ আছে, তাতে অ্যাডভান্টেজ বলছে না, তাহলে ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স যা আছে তার থেকে আরো বেড়ে যাবে, ইনক্রিজ অফ ইনপুট ইম্পিডেন্স ওয়ান অ্যাডভান্টেজ। আউটপুট ইম্পিডেন্স শুড বি লো, ওটা আরো কমে যাবে যদি আমি নেগেটিভ ফিডব্যাক ইউজ করি। So these are the two advantages. First of all, to remember, questions come. Initially, I told you reduction in noise is very important. Noise is very bad in electronic circuits. So reduction of noise, frequency distortion যেমন হয়, distortion is reduced by using negative feedback. Okay, and another
Yes.
very important thing is that stability of the gain is improved. এই অর্ডারস অফ প্রেফারেন্স যদি বলো তাহলে এইটা যেমন দেওয়া আছে, স্টেবিলিটি অফ গেইন ইজ ইমপ্রুভড, রিডাকশন ইন ডিস্টরশন, রিডাকশন ইন নয়েজ, দিস আর দ্য মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট। বাট I in for your examination purpose and also for explaining how the input impedance should be high or low, I started with these points. Input impedance should be very high, that is better, even better Very high input impedance is even better. That means increased in case of negative feedback. Very low output impedance, that is even better if you use negative feedback. These are the 2 points. Stability of gain is improved, reduction in distortion, reduction in noise, and lastly, increase in the range of uniform application. Range of application মানে হচ্ছে তুমি wide bandwidth use করবে. Okay. With this, I come to another very important. So this feedback concept is very, very easy as such. খুব কষ্টকর কিছু না বোঝার। কেউ তারপরে বুঝতে খুব একটা অসুবিধা থাকে বলে মনে হয় না আমার। Yes or no?
হ্যাঁ, বেসিক্যালি ঘুরে আবার সেম ইয়েতেই যাবে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, some portion of the output is taken. This is how much is taken is given by the factor of this is a feedback factor. This is a gain a বিটাটাকে বলে লুপ গেন। যদি নেগেটিভ ফিডব্যাক হয় তাই এটা পজিটিভ হবে, যদি পজিটিভ ফিডব্যাক হয় এটা নেগেটিভ হবে। Negative feedback is most used for amplification purposes, even though the gain is reduced because of so many advantages. Only the disadvantage is gain is reduced, but there are so many advantages of using negative feedback. So in amplifiers, even though amplification is reduced, still we use it. In positive feedback, amplification is improved, but still we don't use it. But because that it see, this is the opposite of what we had here. Here we said reduction in distortion. Here we say in positive feedback, in negative feedback it is reduction in distortion. In positive feedback it is increasing distortion. In negative feedback we said stability of gain is improved. In positive feedback, instability of gain. So why is positive feedback circuits important? Because if you have large enough positive feedback, you use it in oscillators. একবার তোমরা যদি প্রফেসর রাজাভিস লেকচার শুনে থাকো, মনে আছে একটা অসিলেটর ইউজ করছিলেন, ভোল্টেজ কন্ট্রোল অসিলেটর শুরুতে, ব্লুটুথ রিসিভার ট্রান্সমিটার মনে আছে?
ইয়েস স্যার, একদম ফাস্টে ছিল এটা।
হ্যাঁ, অসিলেটর। একটা মিক্সারের মধ্যে একটা ক্যারিয়ার ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি দেওয়া আছে আর একটা হচ্ছে মানে ওটা অসিলেটর হয়। তোমার যেমন বেসিক্যালি এই যে বিশ্বদীপ বললো যে ওর ল্যাপটপে 2.9 গিগাহার্টজ ক্লক ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি, এটাকে বলে ক্লক ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি। এই ক্লকটা কোথা থেকে আসে? অসিলেটরস থেকে, ঠিক আছে? So that's why this is important. Now I'll give just try to recapitulate the different concepts. I'm coming in a minute. Just 1 minute. So till now, whatever we have discussed is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
তো সহজে বুঝিয়ে দিলাম, দেখো খুব ডিফিকাল্ট কিছু নেই, হট করে নতুন জিনিস, কিন্তু জিনিসটা সহজ বোঝায়। Now I am coming to another thing, very important thing. Try to please try to understand, listen to this carefully. Now, depending on what type of, this is called sense and return mechanism. Very important. Sense at the output, I am sensing some voltage or current at the output. Okay, and I am returning a voltage or current at the input. Obviously, এটা তো একটা feedback circuit, so some portion of the output is taken and it is fed back to the input. Yes or no? So if that is so, I have to sense some voltage or current, because voltage or current are the only two parameters in electronic circuits. So voltage, from power we get from voltage current, but basically two basic parameters are voltage and current. So I can sense this. Please remember, memorize whatever you do. You try to make these two words: sense. I'm sensing some voltage or current and returning some voltage or current. So these are the different possibilities. So how many possible combinations are there if I say I am sensing two parameters or returning two parameters?
Sir, 4 combination.
Yes, very good. What are those? আচ্ছা বাকিদের বলতে দাও, তুমি বুঝে গেছো, আমি বুঝছি, বাকিরা বলো। Ananya has said that there are 4 combinations. She is absolutely correct. Now anybody tell me what is the logic of her saying 4 combinations? তাড়াতাড়ি বলো, ক্লাসটা তো এগোতে হবে না, সিলেবাস তো বসে নেই না। চুপ করে থাকলে আমার পক্ষে খুব মুশকিল হয়, বারবার বলেছি। যদি না বলো তো না বলে দাও। অনন্যা বলো। What are the 4 possible combinations? বলো। I can sense either voltage or current. I can return either voltage or current. So what are the 4 possible combinations?
স্যার VS যেটা আছে, দুটো টার্মিনাল আছে আর
অত ডিটেলসে যেও না, শুধু আমাকে কম্বিনেশনটা বলো। I am sensing voltage or current, returning voltage or current. So what are the possible combinations? 4 possible combinations. বললে তো, ঠিকই তো বলছে, দুটো দুটো জিনিস হয় এখানে, দুটো জিনিস সেন্স করা যায়, দুটো জিনিস রিটার্ন করা যায়। তাহলে 4টে কম্বিনেশন তো বললে, তার মানে ঠিকই বুঝেছো। এবার বলো কম্বিনেশন গুলো কি?
টার্মিনাল গুলোর মানে কম্বিনেশন করতে হবে, মানে ইন্টারচেঞ্জ
না
করে।
না 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 না, আমি তোমাকে শুধু, হ্যাঁ তুমি বলছো, ঠিকই বলছো, ভুল বলছো না। আমি বলছি যে এখান থেকে ভোল্টেজ অর কারেন্ট সেন্স করা যায়, আর এখানে ভোল্টেজ অর কারেন্ট রিটার্ন করা যায়। তাহলে কি কম্বিনেশন? একটা তোমাকে বলে দিচ্ছি, হিন্ট দিচ্ছি। আই ক্যান সেন্স ভোল্টেজ, রিটার্ন ভোল্টেজ। হোয়াট এলস? I can sense voltage, return current. I can sense current, return
সবগুলো এখন
voltage.
ভোল্টেজ।
Third is I can sense current, return voltage. Last one is sense current, return current. Yes or no? বুঝলে? দুটো প্যারামিটার আছে, 4টে কম্বিনেশন হবে। ভোল্টেজ, আউটপুট থেকে শুরু করতে হবে। ভোল্টেজ 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 কারেন্ট, কারেন্ট ভোল্টেজ, কারেন্ট কারেন্ট। ক্লিয়ার না? ক্লিয়ার হলো?
ইয়েস স্যার।
আচ্ছা, এবার সেন্সিংটা বলি। সাপোজ ইউ আর সেন্সিং সাম ভোল্টেজ, সাপোজ লাইক ইউজিং এ ভোল্টমিটার। ভোল্টমিটার ইউজ করা জানো তো? তো ভোল্টমিটার আই সেন্স বাই ইউজিং কানেক্টিং ইন প্যারালেল অর সিরিজ।
So voltmeter and parallel.
Parallel. So this will be voltage sense. এটা প্যারালাল তো তার মানে ভোল্টেজ সেন্স ইয়েস অর নো?
Yes, sir.
আর আমি এটা যদি কারেন্ট সেন্স করতাম তাহলে লাইক ইন অ্যামিটার কারেন্ট সেন্স যদি করে তাহলে এটা সিরিজে লাগানো হয় না প্যারালাল লাগানো হয়?
সিরিজে।
সিরিজে, ঠিক আছে। তো if it is a voltage sense, it is connected in parallel like as shown in this configuration. If it is a current sense, then it is connected in series, not shown in this configuration. Clear? ঠিক আছে, এটা সেন্সিং হয়ে গেল। ভোল্টমিটার অ্যামিটার মনে রাখবে, তাহলে বুঝে যাবে। ভোল্টমিটার সেন্সেস ইন প্যারালাল, অ্যামিটার সেন্সেস ইন সিরিজ। আচ্ছা, নাও আই এম sensing and then I am feeding it back to the feedback circuit. From the feedback circuit I am returning sense return. I am returning as প্রথমে সেন্স বলতে হবে, প্রথমে আউটপুট থেকে শুরু করতে হবে। I am returning a voltage or current. আচ্ছা, এবার একটা এক্সাম্পল দিই, মনে রাখো, ভুলেই যাবে না যাতে। প্রথম ভুলেই যায়, একটা যদি বুঝে নাও never forget it. Suppose you go to your market, your father has sent you to the market to buy a 3 volt battery. 3 volt মানে ভোল্টেজ, 3 volt battery. So you go to the market, you find that 3 volt battery is not available. 3 volt battery বলে কিছু পাওয়া হয় না। Okay, so you take your own decision, you buy 2 1.5 volt battery. অনেক সময় অনেক ডিভাইস আছে একটা ব্যাটারিতে কাজ করে না, দুটো ব্যাটারিতে 3 ভোল্টে কাজ করে, তখন what do we do? You go and buy 2 1.5 volt battery and you give it to your father. Your father is very happy because you have brought him his requirement. How will he connect now? This battery voltages, battery will connect to get 3 volt. Counter mute karo, somebody's background sound is coming.
স্যার সায়ন
ওটা বলে দাও তো।
বলে লাভ নেই, ও কিছু শুনছে না। ভুল করে মাইক অন হয়ে গেছে হয়তো।
তো এনিওয়ে, তো 1.5 ভোল্ট ব্যাটারি দুটো এনেছো মার্কেট। Your father now connects them. তো দুটো ব্যাটারি কিভাবে কানেক্ট করবেন, সিরিজে না প্যারালাল?
তো সিরিজ আছে 3 ভোল্ট করতে গেলে।
To make 3 volt from 1.5 volt, he has to connect in
সিরিজ।
Very good. এটা জানো, সবাই এগ্রি করো, নাহলে কনফিউজ হলে আর শেষ। এটা যদি কনফিউজ না হও, এই চারটে আমি যে চারটে কনফিগারেশন বলছি এগুলো জল ভাত হয়ে যাবে। ভেরি ভেরি ইজি। আর যদি কনফিউজ হও তাহলে গেল। তো যখন your father connects to 1.5 volt battery in সিরিজ, তাই না? ঠিক আছে,
আরেকবার ক্লিয়ার করে দিন।
হ্যাঁ,
আরেকবার ক্লিয়ার করে দেবেন।
এইটা সেন্সটা ক্লিয়ার হয়েছে? ভোল্টমিটার সেন্সেস ইন প্যারালাল আর কারেন্ট ইজ সেন্সড বাই অ্যামিটার ইন সিরিজ, এটা ক্লিয়ার?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Either the voltage or the current. To explain this, I am taking the example of your father sending you to the market to buy a 3 volt battery, DC battery. Obviously, battery is DC, so 3 volt battery is not available in the market. Okay, so what do? You take your own decision. You buy 2 1.5 volt battery, and you come and give it to your father. Your father is very happy. ঠিক আছে, কাজ চলে যাবে। কারণ 3 volt battery তো বাজারে সত্যি পাওয়া যায় না। তো তখন তোমার ফাদার কি করবেন, একটা সার্কিটে লাগানোর জন্য অথবা ঘড়িতে লাগানোর জন্য অথবা এনি ইলেকট্রনিক আইটেমসে লাগানোর জন্য ওই he will take the 2 1.5 volt batteries to make 3 volt battery. How? By connecting in series or parallel. পরপর লাগাবেন না প্যারালাল লাগাবেন?
সিরিজে তো।
সিরিজে, সেটাই বলার চেষ্টা করছি। তার মানে ভোল্টেজ 1.5 ভোল্ট বলেছি, ভোল্টেজ তার মানে ভোল্টেজ সোর্স লাগানোর জন্য 1.5 ভোল্ট 1.5 ভোল্ট লাগানোর জন্য সিরিজে লাগাতে হবে। ঠিক আছে, যেমন এখানে দেখানো আছে। তো এটা যদি ভোল্টেজ যখন সেন্স করছে ইট ইজ ইন প্যারালাল, আর ভোল্টেজ যখন ফিডব্যাক করছে তখন সিরিজ। এটা ক্লিয়ার হওয়া দরকার। সো দিস কনফিগারেশন, আর যদি কারেন্ট হতো রিটার্নটা তাহলে প্যারালাল লাগাতে হতো। আমি তো একটা ব্যাটারি এক্সাম্পল দিলাম, দ্যাট ইজ ভোল্টেজ। আর যদি কারেন্ট হতো তাহলে সিরিজে লাগাতে হতো। তাহলে সেন্স আর রিটার্ন উল্টো। এটা এখানে কি আছে, ভোল্টেজ সেন্স ও কারেন্ট সেন্স এই সার্কিটে।
ভোল্টেজ সেন্স।
ভোল্টেজ সেন্স,
এই রিটার্নটা কি আছে, ভোল্টেজ না কারেন্ট?
কারেন্ট।
কারেন্ট। তাহলে এটাকে বলে ভোল্টেজ ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার। মোর কমনলি ইট ইজ সেড অ্যাজ ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার, কারণ মানে এটা রিটার্নটা সিরিজে হচ্ছে। যদি কেউ বলে ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ তার মানেই বুঝে যাবে ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ। এটা কিন্তু আগে আউটপুট থেকে শুরু করতে হয় বলার জন্য, ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ভোল্টেজ এন্ড দেন সিরিজ, নট উল্টো। তাহলে এই অ্যাম্পলিফায়ারটাকে বলে, ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ারটাকে বলে ভোল্টেজ অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার। হ্যাঁ, এটা অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার, ঠিক আছে। এটা অনেক সময় বলে ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার। ক্লিয়ার?
ইয়েস স্যার।
এটা 4 রকম হতে পারে, আমি তোমাকে বললাম। এটাকে বলে ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ ফিডব্যাক। এটা আবার উপরে দেখো নেক্সট পেজে চলে গেছে, ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ ফিডব্যাক, কারণ ইট ইজ সেন্সিং এ ভোল্টেজ, রিটার্নিং এ ভোল্টেজ। ক্লিয়ার? এটাকে বলে নেক্সট 4 রকম হয় না, ভোল্টেজ শান্ট ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার। এটা ভোল্টেজ সেন্স করছে, রিটার্ন করছে কারেন্ট রিটার্ন করছে না, বললাম না প্যারালাল হলে কারেন্ট রিটার্ন করছে। তো অনেক সময় এটাকে বলবে ভোল্টেজ কারেন্ট ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার আর ভোল্টেজ শান্ট ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার। তো এটাকে বলে অনেক সময় ট্রান্স রেজিস্ট্যান্স অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার, কারণ আউটপুট ভোল্টেজ, ইনপুট হচ্ছে কারেন্ট। আচ্ছা, থার্ড টাইপ হচ্ছে এইটা, দুটোই সিরিজে আছে। এটা কি বলা যায় বলো তো? এটা কি সেন্স করছে? এটা কি সেন্স করছে? তাড়াতাড়ি বলো, এতক্ষণ তো বোঝালাম বাপরে। ওফ,
কারেন্ট।
কারেন্ট সেন্স করছে, আর কি রিটার্ন দিচ্ছে?
ভোল্টেজ।
ভোল্টেজ। ভেরি গুড। সো ইট ইজ এ কারেন্ট ভোল্টেজ ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার। কারেন্ট ভোল্টেজ ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ারকে অনেক সময় বলে কারেন্ট সিরিজ, বাট ইট ইজ অ্যাকচুয়ালি কারেন্ট সেন্স করছে আর ভোল্টেজ রিটার্ন করছে। এইটাই লাস্টেরটা
এটা তো কারেন্ট হচ্ছে।
ভেরি গুড। এটা কারেন্ট সেন্স করছে, কারেন্ট রিটার্ন করছে, ঠিক আছে। এটাকে অনেক সময় বলে কারেন্ট শান্ট। কারেন্ট সেন্স করছে, কারেন্ট রিটার্ন করছে, কারেন্ট শান্ট। এটা এটা কারেন্ট সেন্স করছে, ভোল্টেজ রিটার্ন করছে। তার মানে অনেক সময় একে বলে কারেন্ট ভোল্টেজ অথবা কারেন্ট সিরিজ। এটা কারেন্ট বলতে হবে, এটা সিরিজে বলতে হবে। এটা হচ্ছে ভোল্টেজ কারেন্ট অথবা ভোল্টেজ শান্ট। ভোল্টেজ রিটার্ন করছে, ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ, ঠিক আছে। ক্লিয়ার? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
ইয়েস স্যার।
এত কষ্ট করে ভালো করে বোঝাতাম, তারপরে যদি একটু জোর করে yes বলো ভালো লাগে না। আচ্ছা, একটু দাঁড়াও 1 মিনিট, এই লিঙ্কটা পাঠিয়ে দেব। আর যেটা হচ্ছে এটা বয়েলস্টাড নাশালস্কি থেকে একবার পড়ে নিও। এই ফিডব্যাক কনসেপ্টস গুলো দেওয়া আছে, একটু হালকা অন্যভাবে দেওয়া আছে, বাট বেসিক্যালি একটু অন্যভাবে দিলে বুঝতেও সুবিধা হবে। আমি একটু রিক্যাপ করে দিচ্ছি। এটা একটা টোটাল জিনিসটা একটা ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার, এটা স্ট্যান্ড অ্যালোন অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার আছে, একটা ফিডব্যাক সার্কিট আছে। আউটপুট সিগন্যাল ভি নট, এখানে ডাইরেকশন অফ অ্যারো দেওয়া আছে, সুবিধা হচ্ছে সাম portion of the output is sensed and a factor of beta which is called the feedback factor. So beta times V naught is the feedback voltage. So that it is passed through a mixer. The input of one side of the mixer is plus and this can be plus or minus. So in here it is minus, মানে এটা হচ্ছে Vs minus Vf মানে negative feedback. So Vi is equal to Vs minus Vf. Vi is equal to Vs minus Vf into A will give you V naught. এটা যদি তুমি ইয়ে করো, ম্যাথমেটিক্যালি সিম্পলিফাই করো, তাহলে ভি নট বাই ভিএস ইউল গেট 1 বাই 1 প্লাস সরি এ বাই 1 প্লাস এ বিটা। এই যে এই কিছু কিছু অ্যাডভান্টেজ যেগুলো বললাম সেগুলো আবার বলা আছে, হ্যাঁ দেখে নিও, একটু পড়ে নিও। 4 রকম ফিডব্যাক অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার হয় বলেছি, ভোল্টেজ কারেন্ট, সরি এটা ভোল্টেজ, এটা হচ্ছে ভোল্টেজ কারেন্ট, এটা হচ্ছে কারেন্ট ভোল্টেজ, এটা হচ্ছে কারেন্ট। এই 4 রকম ফিডব্যাক হয়। এটাকে অনেক সময় বলে ভোল্টেজ সিরিজ, এটাকে বলে ভোল্টেজ শান্ট, এটাকে বলে কারেন্ট সিরিজ, এটাকে বলে কারেন্ট শান্ট। এই 4 রকম অ্যাম্পলিফায়ার কনফিগারেশন আছে। গেইন উইথ ফিডব্যাক বলা হচ্ছে তোমাকে এটা যে ডেরিভেশনটা করলাম, গেইন উইথ ফিডব্যাক ইজ এ ভি নট বাই ভিএস এ বাই 1 প্লাস এ বিটা। তো 1 প্লাস এ বিটাটাকে বলা হয় লুপ গেইন। ওকে, আর এরপরে আরো ডিটেলসে আছে, অত যাওয়া দরকার নেই, এগুলো আর পড়া দরকার নেই, একটু ইনিশিয়ালিটা পড়ে নিতে পারো। ঠিক আছে, ক্লিয়ার?
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা, এবার আমি একটা কাজ করি,
স্যার এটা বই থেকে পড়বো না ওই লিংক থেকে পড়বো?
লিঙ্ক থেকে পড়তে পারো, বই থেকে পড়তে পারো। লিঙ্ক থেকে পড়ো, বই থেকে তো বইতে 2 পাতা পড়তে বললাম, একই জিনিসের একটু রিক্যাপিচুলেশন হয়ে যাবে। প্রথমে লিঙ্ক থেকে পড়ে বই থেকে একটু পড়ে নিন। আমি খুব সহজ ভাষায় বলে দিলাম, এইগুলো আমাদের সময় সত্যি এত ভালো করে কেউ বোঝায়নি। আমি নিজেকে ভালো বলছি না, কিন্তু এত সহজভাবে বোঝালে না তোমাদের বুঝতে সুবিধা করে, আমি তোমাদের যাতে বুঝতে সুবিধা হয় সেটা আমি ভাবি, এত অনেকভাবে অনেক কিছু ভাবে বুঝিয়ে দেয় যেত। একটু তোমার ব্রেনের রেস্ট হয়ে যাবে, আমি একটু ততক্ষণ অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা নিই। ইমানুল, রাহুল রায়, অঙ্কিতা, ঈশিতা, Ramiz.
Yes, sir.
Ramiz, you are here.
Sir.
Mohsana, Mohim.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Mohim present.
Yes, sir.
তাড়াতাড়ি বলবে। জয়।
Yes, sir.
স্বর্ণময়, রাজেশ্বর, অভিষিক্তা।
Yes, sir.
অক্রুর, নিশান্ত, অনিশা,
Present, sir.
নিশান, শেখ নিশান, অভিষেক।
Present, sir.
সাগরিকা।
Present, sir.
মোহাম্মদ হামিদুল।
Yes, sir. Present.
দেবদত্তা।
Yes, sir.
প্রিয়াঙ্কা।
Present, sir.
হর্ষনিত।
Present, sir.
अमन। অনন্যা আছে, অনন্যা।
Yes, sir.
Tarokeshwar,
Present, sir.
Arindam,
Present, sir.
Priyanshu,
Present, sir.
Abhishek,
Present, sir.
Anog,
Yes, sir.
Aditya, Saket,
Present, sir.
Balmukund, Balmukund, Ayush, Vivanta, Rajat, Tushar, Anumay,
Present, sir.
Tojash, Prince,
Present, sir.
Shudeep,
There, sir.
Shivam, Ayon Mandal.
Present, sir.
Okay.
Sir Rahul Roy said me that his network is very low, so to give him
Rahul
the
Rai,
attendance.
our bola?
Sir Rahul Roy just texted me that his network is very slow.
Okay, I marked him present.
Sir Balmukund Kanodia from IT.
Yeah, what happened? You're normally
So
all present.
yes, my mic was not working.
I was
So-
very surprised because you're present throughout. So today, what happened? I was just wondering. Anybody else?
Sir, are you checking the chat box?
No.
Tushar is saying that laptop is showing can't turn on the mic due to size of call. He's present. Something like that.
Tushar.
Yeah.
Who else? Anybody else? Okay, let us continue.
And then there's Rahul Ray.
Rahul Ray, I've already marked him present.
Yeah.
Okay, let us continue our discussions. Vishwadeep, you are not, I think, present at the beginning of the class. I told Shakorika and
No.
Priyanka
Yeah.
to arrange an extra class next week. Second and fourth, we have classes. One more class. I'm telling you beforehand, before any other teacher asks for a slot, I am booking one slot from you. Okay.
Yeah, we feel pretty like a famous book হচ্ছে একদম পুরো কনসার্ট টাইপস
Come again?
সবাই আগে বুক করবো এমন টাইপের
উল্টো হয়ে গেছে এখন টিচাররাই স্টুডেন্টদের বুক করার চেষ্টা করছে
হ্যাঁ টিচাররা স্টুডেন্টদের বুক করছে
আগে উল্টো হতো আমরা টিচারদের বুক করার চেষ্টা করতাম anyway the main problem is the syllabus is same and the time is reduced. Okay, can you see the screen? Let us make use of the 20 minutes we have. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So this is the operational amplifiers. Before Wednesday's class, I have told you earlier. So you must, this operational amplifier is a very important topic. So you must complete 2 Razavi's lectures. And that this is the last one I'm telling you. I'll not tell you anymore. But this is very important. Lectures number 42 and 43. Please note down. I have already told you earlier. I'm repeating before Wednesday's class. Please complete these 2 lectures. And the other theory parts I am covering today. So basically, with this, you will be conversant with operational amplifiers. This will be useful not only in your theory, but also in lab. Because in lab Viva, what happens is that 2 or 3 or maximum 4 questions are asked. And if these questions are asked on operational amplifiers and you're not able to answer, then quite a large chunk of marks is gone. Okay, please understand this. Theory, if you don't answer an op-amp question, you may lose maximum 5 marks. Here you may lose 25 marks. So I am very repeatedly telling you, please go through lecture 42 and 43. I have told you earlier before Wednesday's class. Now I'll tell you some other concepts of operational amplifiers. What are operational amplifiers? Operational amplifiers are amplifiers. Now again, from the word itself, it is known that it is an amplifier having a very high gain, and it is a differential amplifier. Why it is differential amplifier? I'll show you with the circuit and make you understand. But then basically this operational amplifier is a type of amplifier which is used mostly for mathematical operation. If you see Professor Razavi's lectures, there is a very nice example of a flying aircraft, all the operations of calculations, mathematics, when it started in 1940s. Then there was the scientist who was working with these operational amplifiers. He called it operational amplifiers because in analog computers, nowadays we have digital computers. In analog computers, which are still used in certain applications, in analog computers, certain mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, then differentiation, integration, summation. Summation I told you. These 4 operations mainly: summation, subtraction, differentiation, and integration operations can be carried out using operational amplifiers. So if you want to add 2 numbers, say 2 and 5, in your calculator, or it is used in the digital mode, but in analog amplifiers you need to perform these operations. These are called operands also. In IT students will learn this as operators and operands. So plus, minus, multiplication, division, these are called operators, and operands are on which you do the operations. So these operational amplifiers that's why got the name. Okay. So as I said, it is a very high gain. Gain, as you said, is the amplification. Okay. So it consists of a number of different stages to achieve a very high voltage gain. Now, the circuit of differential amplification looks like this. So this is a differential amplifier. That's why it is called differential amplifier. You see a circuit here. You know how circuits are made. This is what NPN, common emitter configuration transistor. This is exactly same common emitter transistor. It is connected. So these are 2 devices. So these devices are connected in like this. So you have a common source, common plus supply called VCC, and this is not ground. This is minus VE, and the emitter resistance is common between these 2 transistors. I told you transistors are sometimes mostly used with the nomenclature Q, not T. Q1, Q2 are the 2 transistors. You have 2 separate but identical collector resistances and a common emitter resistance. Okay, and the circuit is connected in this way. This is called a differential amplifier because you give a inputs. There are 2 inputs, VI1 and VI2. These 2 inputs are given to the base of these 2 transistors, and the output is taken at the collectors of these 2 transistors. From Q1 collector, it is called VO1, and the collector of second transistor Q2, it is called VO2. Now these two are the inputs. As you see, these are given to the VI1 and VI2 are the inputs, and the output is taken from VO1 and VO2. So this is basically an operational amplifier having two inputs and two outputs. Okay, so now, but mostly what we will study will be one input. The other input is grounded. So if the other input is grounded, you will get the output as, or you can say that the VO1 minus VO2 is the output. That is a single-ended output. So this is the function of the operational amplifier. This is how the symbol of the operational amplifier looks like. Okay, is this clear? The internal circuit of an operational amplifier. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Now you can have either a single-ended output. Single-ended input. I told you there are two inputs. What is a single-ended? So this is the basic. Before I go to the single-ended input, let me tell you how it is represented. This is a basic op-amp. It has two inputs, plus and minus, and one output. I told you two outputs, but one output is taken, and this output is the difference between the two outputs. So here, this is the symbol of an operational amplifier. Operational amplifier is abbreviated as op-amp, but actually the full name is operational amplifier. So this op-amp has two inputs. One is positive, another is negative. Okay, since it is positive, it is called non-inverting, and it is negative means inverting. Clear?
Okay.
So this is a structure. Okay. Now in single-ended operation, as shown here, one of the inputs, either from now on, don't say minus input or plus input. This is the inverting. Minus means inverting input. In this case, in a single-ended operation, the inverting input is grounded, and you give the signal. Signal means AC. Suppose the sinusoidal, it may be different also. The input signal is applied to the non-inverting terminal, and you get the output like this, same phase. You see the input and the output are in the same phase. This is a single-ended operation, single-ended input, because you are giving the signal to one of the inputs, not both. The other input is grounded. This is a single-ended operation with the signal to the non-inverting input. Here is another single-ended operation where you give the signal to the inverting input, and the non-inverting input is ground. So you are giving a signal to the inverting input. So obviously you will get an inverted output, amplified but inverted. So magnitude is multiplied by something. You see this is a smaller one, this is a bigger one. So this is an amplified, but it is 180 degree out of phase. It is inverted. So this is a single-ended operation. What is double-ended? This is a double-ended operation here, not the left one. I'll tell you what the left one is. Here, this is a double-ended operation. Here, you give signals to both the non-inverting and the inverting inputs. The non-inverting input signal is VI1, inverting input signal is VI2. So the difference between these two signals is VD. So the output is a amplified version of VD. Okay, both the inputs are considered, and now output is the amplified version of the difference between the two input signals. So this is called a double-ended or differential operation. Here you are applying the same signal. The same thing. What is shown here is shown here. This is the left one. Here you giving a same signal. This is not the same. This right one and the left one are different. This you are giving, it should not have been written as VD. It should have been written something else. So you are giving a same signal to both the input and the output. So you get an output based on the inputs. Clear? So it is clear conceptually. Now, as I said, you can have a double-ended output also. You give a single-ended input signal to the non-inverting terminal. Inverting terminal is grounded. So you get at the I said from the circuit you can have two outputs. So this output is like this. This output is like this. This is the inverting one. Clear? So the different concepts. So differential input. So differential input means one of the input is grounded, another signal you give to another input, you get an output across the differential, across the two things, and you get the difference between the two outputs as VD. And in this case, what is shown is that you have given input VD to the input and output terminals. Output is AD times VD. AD is the differential gain, and if you had C, it is called common mode gain. So this thing is called a common mode operation. The difference between this one and this one, can you tell me? This one, remember, you give an input VD across the terminals of the inverting input terminal and non-inverting input terminal. So you get an amplified version of the difference here, VD. Now you have something else which is called this one. What is the difference here? Here the signal is same given to the non-inverting and the inverting input. Yes or no?
Sir, there is a earthing. There is earthing. The voltage is grounded. The two voltages are grounded.
Where?
After the input of AC signal, there is a earthing.
Yeah, earthing. So basically, we can say you're giving the same input to plus. That means, sorry, not plus, non-inverting, and the same input to the inverting terminal. So it is called common mode operation. You are giving the same signal, but here you are not giving the same signal to the inputs and the outputs. Here you are not giving the same signal to the inputs and outputs. You are giving a signal across the two inputs, non-inverting and inverting input. So there is a difference between this one and that earlier one. So here you get an amplified version, operational amplified. So it is amplified out and it is in phase. So it is amplified version of the input signal. Okay, and don't confuse this one with this one. There the same signal is applied to the non-inverting and inverting terminal. Okay, what should be the output here? Output would be ideally 0. When the same input signals are applied to both the inputs, common mode, because it is common. The signal which is given is common to both the inverting and non-inverting inputs. Inverting and non-inverting inputs. Same input signals are applied to both inputs, common mode operation results. Ideally, the two inputs are equally amplified, and since they result in opposite polarity signals at the output, these signals cancel, resulting in 0-volt output. But actually, a small output signal will be there. So this will be amplified by same amount in phase, and this inverting terminal will amplify it the same amount but opposite phase. So the same phase, opposite phase output signal cancels each other out, and you get a signal which is ideally 0, but some signal will be there. So now actually in differential amplifier, I'll stop with this today. Common mode rejection is very, very important. This is the most important feature of operational amplifier. The significant feature of differential connection is that the signals that are opposite the inputs are highly amplified, whereas those that are common to the two inputs are only slightly amplified or 0 amplified. Now, if suppose you take this as noise. Noise is common to both inputs. Suppose your signal line is carried through a area where there is a high tension line. Then the noise will affect both the inputs. So that will result as the cancelling of the input noise. So the cancellation of the input noise will result in what? The output will be 0. So if noise is there, it will affect the plus, that means the non-inverting and the inverting inputs. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So output will, the noise will not affect, because if you give the same signal to both the inputs, the output will not be there. Yes or no? So this is called a common mode rejection. And
Yes,
you have
sir.
a ratio, I will tell you later. We stopped today here. This is called a common mode rejection ratio. And this we have already covered. And based on this, I'll just say, this is summarization. If an input signal is applied to either input, either one of the two inputs, with the other input connected to ground, the operation is referred to as single-ended. If two opposite polarity input signals are applied, the operation is referred to as double-ended. And if the same signal is applied to both inputs, the operation is called common mode. Okay, with this we stop here. Please go through lectures 42 and 43 so that we can start the digital in the next class. Is it okay? All of you got me?
Yes, sir.
So you take a little bit time, but please go through. That will cover all of your doubts and queries on operational amplifier. And if you once you have done that, then we are through. We can start digital part and complete in a good time frame. Okay, so much for today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. See you. We meet on Wednesday.
Thank you, sir.